It seems like every 2 Sundays or so we're getting an absolute crash in the market, at least in the alts, right? Because Bitcoin doesn't crash that much if you think about it. But yeah, I mean, it's not looking pretty now. It looks like we are retesting 27,400, which is close to the bottom that we had here the last week that we had here before we pushed back up and we started to accumulate. This is definitely bad news in my opinion. Because this area here has now formed resistance. Okay, so this is the trouble that we're gonna have now that we're down so low. It's not like it was just a week and we're gonna come back. I mean, it's been slowly dumping, breaking below this area which was previously support, and now it's gonna turn into resistance. So let's look at the alts, and we're gonna take a look at RMRK and Karura today. I'm not gonna look at KSM and the others because they are following quite a similar pattern. And so let's talk about RMRK first. Again, not looking pretty. We had that dump to $3 here when I was at Blockdown Croatia at the beginning of May, I should say mid-May, where we went to $3 on a week, and then we went back up a little bit. As you can see, we moved with Bitcoin, so RMRK does move with Bitcoin quite a bit. But now, I mean, it's losing momentum because of the same thing, right? It's not necessarily people selling, it's the bots selling, because the bots ultimately drive this market together with the whales, right? But yeah, I don't believe this is a sell-off from people. Maybe it is. Maybe some people have sold smaller amounts of RMRK, but I'm not seeing like massive dips here as if somebody just wanted to like sell a huge bag or anything. These are all bots basically following the market. If Bitcoin was to go to 30K all of a sudden, I can guarantee you that this would go back up to around 430 to 440, right? And of course, it wouldn't be because people are buying, it would be because the bots are buying in order to match with the market. And so it's unfortunate, but this is how it is. This is how it is, and it's going to be big trouble for us for a good while now, because if Bitcoin doesn't hold well at that 26K solid support level, which is going to get to, I think, probably tomorrow, because what I've noticed is when we get a dump like this on a Sunday, Monday tends to be even bloodier, and so to me, that's a concern. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can do but to watch and just analyze what's going on, and hopefully see a market turnaround at some point this year, maybe next year. But I do think it's going to last for another good few months before we're going to see some recovery. And so yeah, with RMRK, aside from the price, yeah, we're going to have to encounter some resistance for sure now around the $4.15, as you can see here, which is going to be nasty because we've accumulated in this area so nicely, and I really thought, you know, hopefully we're going to get a push to the upside here. I really didn't want this to happen because now we're going to struggle to break past this area of 415, and so even if Bitcoin goes to 30K again, I think 415 is where we're going to be stuck at for a while before we're going to see some more bullish momentum. But with the land sales, I mean, the land sales are due to happen next week. The Kokopelli one is going to kick off, and after that we're going to see the voucher land sales, and then we're going to see the Dutch auction, which is not going to be until the beginning of July, I believe, because it's going through different phases. And so yeah, it's going to start at 50 XC RMRK as the very base for the common land, and then it's going to work its way up depending on how people are bidding. And so don't expect to be able to buy it exactly at 50. Maybe you can buy it 53, at 55, maybe even 60. And so yeah, don't expect that you're going to be able to definitely get a land at 50 XC RMRK. It all depends because it is a Dutch auction at the end of the day, right? And next, Karura. Okay, this is some people in the community have asked me, specifically one person has asked me on YouTube constantly, like if I could cover Karura, and what can I say? I mean, the team at Akala are working on it. Apparently they have some update for us for Karura as well. They're not just abandoning Karura. And so even though it is the Canary network, they still need to deploy all the different updates to Karura first and then to Akala. But they're definitely not abandoning it. But unfortunately, it is what it is with the price, right? You cannot control the situation with the price. As you can see, massive dumping going on here. Again, the Crowdloan rewards are over now. So people that have gotten the Crowdloan rewards and wanted to get out, they're out. But it is nasty because look, when we had this pop here back in April, to over $2, I mean, to see it go down like this, you know, just it's absolutely insane. But yeah, Karura is going to have exactly the same problem as RMRK. This area here has now turned into resistance, the one that we've accumulated at, and so it's going to struggle to break 48 cents, and then it's also going to struggle to break 55 cents, which is unfortunate. Okay, but yeah, it's gonna happen at some point. I have no doubt about it. The team are hardworking. I just wish there was some staking functionality for Karura, because you can stake Akala, but you cannot stake Karura, so that is unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, all we can do is just wait for Hi-Fi to go live, which is hybrid finance, wait for the Akala card to go live and for AUSD to be used, and then hopefully we're going to see some more utility for Karura and for Akala as well, for ACA, for the two tokens. And there are talks in the Polka community that there may be a merger at some point where all these canary tokens are no longer going to exist, but we're going to have the main token. So there are discussions right now, nothing official, that there could be a proposal pushed through for a merger. And so there's going to be a one token model on both Kusama and Polkadot, which could turn out interesting, because if you think about it, if I'm holding a canary token which no longer has, like, say, one like Moonriver, right, not Karura, but one like Moonriver which has no private investors, and then I now have Glimmer which does have private investors and they're still getting their own locks because they're vested, plus the Crowdloan rewards for those who contributed to the Crowdloans. Like, I mean, how fair is that to a person like myself who holds them over, right, or anybody else, right, who holds them over? It's not so fair, right? So I think they're gonna have to find that balance which is going to satisfy both parties. And so if they're going to do something like that, we'll have to see how they're going to do it without causing too much FUD in the community. But it does make sense. I mean, yeah, two token model doesn't really work right now with the two ecosystems, because we're seeing the bear market take its toll on this, and you know, it's affecting everything. But hopefully things are going to change, you know, in the next bull. We'll see what they're going to do. Once Polkadot matures, once Kusama mature, once we're seeing more Crowdloans, more parachains on it, more dApps, more layer 2 solutions, then yeah, I mean, things should hopefully work for the best, because at the end of the day, interoperability is here for Kusama, it is here for Polkadot. We're not seeing the cross-chain interoperability between Kusama and Polkadot yet, but it is coming. And then we're going to have these other bridging solutions which are going to bring assets like Stellar, assets like Cosmos, and dApps from Cosmos and Stellar over to Kusama and Polkadot, and then the same for Ethereum and for other ones. So I'm not worried. I mean, development is ongoing, they have funding, there's no concern. It's a strong ecosystem, but it has dumped in price and it has impacted people. So just stay strong, huddle strong, and just try to go through this. I know it can be frustrating to some people, especially if you've overinvested, close to the peak. Anywhere close to the peak here, if you've invested here a lot of money, then it is a shame. It is painful, but what can you do? I mean, we are looking like we're at the absolute bottom here, but could it dump lower? Absolutely it can. It all depends on the market, right? But I mean, looking at the humongous dump that we had here, it just shows you that we are pretty close to, I mean, it looks as if we're pretty close to the bottom because of the formation here. But then we thought the same maybe around this area, and look, I mean, we had this nice week here thinking we're going to come back, and then look where we ended up. So there's no saying that we couldn't see something similar, a little bit of a push to the upside here, only to encounter some resistance and then to dump back even further. So there's that chance too. So yeah, just stay strong, try to go through this bear market, and I do believe that we're going to see another very strong cycle at some point. We don't know when, but I do believe it's going to come. So just trust crypto. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.